next week and check out the show. Well, Rod, what you think? It's my time to get out of here?
It's about time to flex. Peace. We out of here.
Yep, it's definitely time I get nasty. Oh. Yeah.
Welcome to Speak On. How you doing? I'm your host, Keith Harrell, and Speak On is coming to you live from Overtown. That's the Ozone. And remember, Speak On is brought to you by Big Time Boys. That stands for Black individuals giving time, investing money, effort to better our young society. And what we want to do right now, we're going to introduce the people that's in the BTB studios. Right now we have Gentle Porter, CEO of Big Time Boys, Margot Matthews, President of Ladies of Sapphire, and Annette Perkins, radio personality for WSBH, right?
WSBH.
Okay, Teen Talk. How you guys doing?
All right.
Now, tonight what we're going to do, we're going to talk about male and female relationships. We had two different shows, one with all male and one with all female. And now we're going to come up with some solutions to the problems we're going through today with male and female relationships. Maybe we can come up with some solutions to the problems that we're having. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to sit down. We're going to solve all the problems of male and female relationships right here on the show tonight.
In an hour.
But I often hear things like men don't respect women anymore, and one of the main problems that we have is some of the things that kids are seeing today, and it's just going back and forth. How you guys feel about that?
I knew this was going
Margot!
to Men don't respect women today. As I said on the last show, I don't speak for all women, and I don't categorize all men. Okay.
Thank you.
Most men, some men, it's not that they don't respect women. You have some that don't respect women, but some, they just don't know how to appreciate a good woman. And it's not just men. You have women who can't appreciate a good man. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, okay. So, kind of, how you feel about that, Annette?
Lack of respect is transcended, I think, through every media that we have today, through magazines, music videos, motion pictures. You see exploitation of women constantly. Women stripped down to their barest essentials, and the men, it's not the same deal for the men. The women you see in the music videos, the way they are dressed, you'd never see the young men dressed that way. Again, I think it's the stereotypes are still there of the roles that women are expected to take on, and I just feel like the scales are still unbalanced, and young teenage boys will never respect women as long as some of those stereotypes don't change.
Basically because women will probably come out and be exposed more so. And men will come GQ, such as yourself, Keith, when a photographer takes a picture of them and places them in a magazine ad or on the front cover of a magazine, when they will take a woman and they'll put her in lingerie, G-string, bikini.
I understand what you're both saying. I can agree with you because we're here on the show. We're guilty of some things like that, showing different videos. But the funny thing is that you see all this and you wonder, did somebody put a gun in their head to dance this way or to take their clothes off? I mean, if it's going to start with the exploitation, has to start with the person that's doing it.
No, but women, we're raised to be sexy. You guys are raised to be professional.
Macho.
Yeah. We're raised to be sexy.
Is macho professional?
Not necessarily professional. Depending on the man, right? You guys, you could be professional athletes, professional anything, but we have to be sexy. You know,
Like-
so yeah, as little girls, you start to understand. You know, you start to understand. You take on the roles. You start to want to wear lipstick. You start to want to do the nails. You start to, you know, you develop. And it's not necessarily, that's not sex appeal then, but you want to look good. And if looking good means to wear something form-fitting or, you know, work out a bit more to tone up or whatever.
Certain areas.
Certain areas, right. Then that's what we do. You know, but you guys...
So exactly whose fault is it? I mean, first...
The man, because they're the one that exposes us.
Wait. First we started
Man
off
rules
saying
the world.
society's fault. And all the problems stem from how you brought up in society, whereas because a woman does this and a man does that, which, okay, I agree with that. But then you got on the point of saying where I think women feel if you have it, flaunt it.
Exactly.
And that's, how can that be a man's fault? I mean, depending on how a woman approaches me or what's, you know, of course you have to look at a person first. But just because you flaunt it doesn't mean that it's going to make you more appealing.
Depending on the woman. Now, that this just goes back to the same term that we use, depending on the man, depending on the woman, because me, myself, I could come today in a blazer, but once I go out on a Saturday night, if I choose to expose certain areas, that's my choice. That does not mean anyone should lose respect for me as a person. But in most cases, a man will go out and he would have on a nice shirt, a nice pair of slacks, you know, nice shoes, and a woman, in order to attract, most women, in order to attract, as Annette said not too long ago, she has to portray an image of being sexy. And that's a woman's way of being sexy. Most women.
I mean, because we brought up, we want to get married, we want to have children, we want to have the whole 9 yards, right? And in order to in order to do so, I mean, okay, case and scenario. You go to club. 1 week I may dress nice and conservative, you know, in my jeans and whatever. Nobody pays me any attention.
And you go in a tight black.
And I go back in a tight
Micro mini.
Right, and I have people flocking to me all over. So, you know, and that increases my likelihood of having that family that all girls dream and read about.
Okay, well, we're going to pick up on that. But we're going to take this first caller. Carol, can you speak on it?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well.
Well, I was glad to hear Keith bring up the fact that Big Time Boys is guilty of showing somewhat exploiting videos on TV. Every week I look at this show, and sometimes I see these videos, and I wonder, how can an organization, you know, who's supposed to be helping to hopefully bridge the gap between, you know, male and female, showing males, you know, how to respect themselves, respect others. That should begin with respecting females and respecting relationships. And how can you show videos like the one I saw last week, you know, or I think it was last week with I Get Around or something like that? I mean, you're a positive group. I think that a positive organization should show videos that show love and respect between male and female, or maybe not between male and female, but between people. You know, I think you're contradicting yourselves, because you're saying to better our young society, and to start, you should start by trying to bridge the gap between male and female and making their relationships better. And I think it can start with showing positive videos, not videos where the male's calling the female the whole, slap her on the butt. You know, I just don't agree with that. And I think you know that, Keith.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do, I want to answer that question, if I can.
Yeah, it was directed to you.
Yeah, it was directed to me. And I knew it was coming. We're placed in a difficult situation because we are a nonprofit organization, and since we do have a TV show, we're also in the entertainment field. And doing that, sometimes we're going to show videos that might show that, although it might be wrong. And then other times we're going to show videos that show... Excuse me? And other times we're going to show videos that show positive between brothers and sisters, you know. But in due respect, we're going to give each a certain time to show either one. Now, I understand how you feel about that. We're showing women exploitation. And I apologize. I apologize for the Big Time Boys for doing that. Gentry say, no, don't apologize. But sometimes
I have a problem with that. I have a problem. How can you go off and say, oh, well, if you have it, flaunt it? And then when you have a video that are women in bathing suits,
All women don't say that, Gentry.
Well, okay, I'm just saying.
All women, just like, see, you're categorizing. All
though.
women do not say if you have it flaunted.
Okay, not all women.
Okay, and just because any woman that may say if you have it flaunted, that does not mean they're flaunting anything for anybody to drool over. And Annette made a point, a valid point. The mere fact that women, as little girls, are brought up to be appealing and sexy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that they're flaunting anything because they want to be stripped. Flaunted.
Okay, well in the video they're being flaunted.
Do you understand?
No, but the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. So what this young lady is making a very valid point. If you guys say you're one thing, you can't have another fruit on your tree.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, the funny thing is about Big Time Boys and things that we're doing, we're out there and we're helping.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said before, we're placed in a situation where we do have to entertain. Now, if this young lady can call and say all these things about Big Time Boys, she should also call MTV, VH1,
but she expects
Video
better
Jukebox,
from you.
Video
She expects a little better from you.
BET, and she should be able to call
to do things
all
like
the rest
that.
of these places, because if you're going to start
She's
with us,
complimenting
you
your
gotta
organization. Actually,
but
think
you have
about
to start with somebody else too. You have to go on. It's not just us. It didn't start with us. It's not going to end with us.
No, but you guys take the first step, get the ball rolling like a domino effect. And I interviewed Two Live Crew a couple weeks ago on my radio show, right? And you know what he told me? He told me that it was just a job. It's no big deal to him. He doesn't care. He goes home to his children and his family, and he's fine with what he sees on the video. He says the same thing that you two young men did, that, they come to do it. I mean, nobody's holding a gun to their head.
This is the topic now that we're discussing. We're talking about respect, mutual respect. If you make a video, why? And if you have women that are going to go out there and do that, why choose those women? Okay, you chose Annette and myself to be on your panel today. We're not revealing anything.
Okay. But the other show that we had on last week.
Oh, I saw that too.
We had a
She was not revealing anything, neither one.
She has done it.
So why didn't you let them do it on your show?
Because they wouldn't let us do it.
Even picking women in music videos. I'm going to give you an example, because I did some modeling before, and I went on a casting for a music video for the Dogs. Oh, I shouldn't have said the group, but the Dogs. And there were two sets of girls there. There were girls sent over from the agency, very respectable girls that, they came in their nice dresses and they tried out for the video. And then there was a whole other set who are stripped at local clubs around here in Miami. Mm-hmm. So they weren't at all going for taste. They chose the strippers. That's people think that those are the only type of women that come to be in those videos. They aren't. Those are who those guys want.
That's right.
That's who they want. They could stop it. They could stop it. And you guys can help stop it.
But to answer her question, like I said, I'm going to tell you, because I'm not going to lie and say that, we're never going to show those videos again, because it might pop up. Because it might be a video.
I was going to say,
because it might be a video that's popular and people want to see it. So we might show it because people want to see it, male and female, But we're also going to give it a share.